Oh, wow. Welcome back to another Sports View, hosted by WLST. I am Cheryl Green, and I am sitting here with my co hosts, Tracy Hatch and K Dub. And I'm coming to you live all the way from Los Angeles, California. And so I'm not sure where my co-hosts are right at this moment in time. They might be out on assignment, but I'll let them tell you where they're at, where they're located. Go ahead, K Dub.
Hey, hey, coming to you live and direct from a secret location right outside of the nation's capital. It's your girl, K-Dub, otherwise known as Kanisha. Some people call me Mom. Some people call me Miss Williams. Just don't call me late for dinner. What's going on, good people? Glad to
Miss
be here.
Jackson. Not Miss Jackson.
If you're nasty.
Well, is it my turn? Can you all hear me?
Yes, we're
We
coming
can
in
hear
for a
you.
landing. We're coming in for a landing.
Yes, yes, we are. Good evening, Miss Jackson and Miss Green. Uh, it's your other co-host Hatch, and I'm coming in live all the way from my mama's house.
Hey, Mama.
My, 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 my,
That's
my,
why. That's
my,
why. That's why I got on headphones, so you're liable to hear anything. Okay.
Okay, so y'all know it's a whole lot going on this week, and we're going to definitely jump right into it. We're going to talk about the NBA, a little bit of the WNBA. I know, Tracy, you text out about that, but I just want to touch back on that just a little bit. College NIL, NFL, the Women's National Football Conference, our stand-up, and our very own Stitcho. So
All
let's
right.
just jump right into it. The NBA playoffs. We got the Lakers versus the Grizzlies, who is actually playing right now. The Lakers is winning that series 2-0. You got Timberwolves versus the Nuggets. Denver is leading that series 2-0. Clippers and the Suns is 1-1. You got the Hawks and the Celtics at 2-0, and Boston is definitely leading that series. We have our very own Cavs and the Knicks. We're like at 1-1, but the first game was just like a little practice game for us, so that's why we're 1-1. And then you have the
So,
Sixers and
you,
the
so you're
Nuggets.
saying you lost practice?
No, we just wanted to see where they were at. We didn't lose. We just wanted to
Who
see where they
loses
were at.
practice?
Yes, because it was only like 3 points, Tracy. That's it. It was just 3 points. Yeah. And then you have the 76ers and the Nuggets. Philly is leading that series 2-0. And then you have the Knicks and the Warriors. The Kings is leading that series 2-0. But with this series right here, I just kind of want to talk about Draymond Green. He's my little cuz, from like 4 generations over on the right side. Did y'all see the infamous step that was heard and seen all around the world?
Yes, it looks like he stomped the E off his last name, though. Uh, so you know, so today actually, the NBA explained why Draymond Green was suspended, but the other player who started with the punch was not. I don't know if you wanted to touch upon that, but you know, both of them, I guess, were in the wrong. What the league said was, though, that three things that got to a suspension. They said it was a dangerous and unnecessary act on his part. It was conduct detrimental to the league. And the third is that Draymond Green seems to have a little bit of a temper and he's a repeat offender. So that is why it was a totality of all of those things. And that is what led to the suspension.
Well, okay, so I did watch the infamous step or stomp the
Stomp,
yard. Yeah,
stomp,
the stomp.
stomp the yard.
It was-
Kirk Franklin stomp. Right?
yes, yeah, the warrior stomp. That's what it is. So I watched it like 4 or 5 times, and they said, of course, the guy on the ground held his foot. And so it was like Green did the 1-2 step. If you kind of watch, he was like, like, and then he kept going like he didn't even step on the dude. It cracked me up. I just thought that was just so funny. But Draymond Green is one of those type dudes. You got to just look out for him, like you said, Kanisha. He always got his nose into something, but at one moment in time, he had his lips into something.
Mm.
When the Cavs was playing the Warriors, and LeBron was, um, on the side waiting for the ball for the free throw, and he was blowing in LeBron's ear like this. So I don't know if that was a sexy blow or it was a basketball blow. I don't know what kind of blow that was, but however, Draymond Green got to cut it out.
Maybe they taught him that in his anger management class. Oh wait, I don't think he's attended yet. You know, sometimes not sometimes your reputation will follow you, and where it possibly could have maybe been considered no malintent. I mean, sorry. And let's think about this also, the fact that with Draymond was there for game 1 and game 2, right? And the Warriors lost. So, wonder what the rest of the season, the series will look like for them.
Well, this is what Green should have did.
He
That's what
should he should have put the big E on the end of his name so we wouldn't is his alias.
Exactly. Keep it on the ground. That's what my mom would say.
Okay, ladies. So let's jump right into the WNBA. We got to go back to that draft pick. Aaliyah, she was the number. What is her last name? Oh,
Boston.
Boston. Yeah, I just put Aaliyah, like I know her personally. Yeah, so
If
Right.
her
Aaliyah.
last name was Cleveland, I bet you would have known it.
Yeah, you're right. I would, but yeah, but yeah. So she was the number one draft pick, and I got it. And so here's what I do just have a little bit of issue with. So she's set to make $75,000 a year, as the number one pick coming out of Columbia, South Carolina. However, she was making more money in the NIL than she's about to go and make in the WNBA. So is she doing this really for the love of the game, and it's just not about the money? And I don't know. I'm just a little bit confused on that. Why is but her counterparts in the NBA, they're making at least $1 million for somebody that's number 30 going into the draft. I just wanted to ask you ladies about that.
It's got to be for the love of the game. I mean, 75,000 is not a bad starting salary out of college,
Yes.
but when you consider the profession, I mean, you do make a good point, Cheryl, that um, yes, compared to their counterparts. But I mean, we also know the pay disparities between men and women clearly in any sport, even office sports. Okay. So, it's unfortunate, but I can't. But sometimes, they say when you love what you do, it's not quote unquote always about the money. So, again, this is them getting their shot. At some point, it may, kind of rear its head like, wait a minute. I'm out here, we winning all the games. Now the Fever's gonna be winning all the games, but I'm not making all the coins. So the conversation unfortunately is old and has barely changed. So I don't know. It's the love of the game for now.
Well, I guess there's a little bit of a glimmer of a hope because there is a new collective bargaining agreement in play. It runs through 2027 and outlines salaries and bonuses. So there's that base amount, but then there are bonuses that are tied to it,
Hmm.
depending. So there are things like if your team is the WNBA champion, then you get an additional 11,356 per player. Runners up also have an incentive. There's incentives for being eliminated in different rounds of playoffs.
Mhm.
However, once the tax man gets his cut, that's really not going to mean very much. But then there are also incentives for things like MVP, all WNBA first or second team. And that's tens of thousands there. But then that, as I look at this and I think about that salary disparity,
Mhm.
it does make me think about Brittany Griner and why um, athletes
Mhm.
opt to go overseas and play or play in the off season. Um, this lends itself right then and there to that type of conversation when you think about like, you know, pay me what you pay them. Um, The top players will get, compensation in excess of $500,000 a year, but that's after a little time under your belt, I think,
Yeah.
and that type of thing. But at least these new rookies will enter into a different WNBA because the salary caps have expanded. They've got enhanced free agency and they've got travel benefits, but you know, there's still severe pay disparity. And as
Cause
Tracy
let's be
said,
clear.
where would pay
Part
him?
time, yeah, part time job, location Russia does not sound appealing. I don't care what the
No,
price tag is.
They say
So
part-time job location,
yeah,
right?
location on site. You have to come in the office. Russia. Yeah, no.
Siberia.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
pass, pass. Yeah.
Well, I think the more we talk about it, on our platform, and hopefully others continue to talk, and we get people out to the games. I think that's more important. We got to get women out to the games.
Hmm.
I mean, we got to get people out to the women's games so that way we get that attendance up. They can make more money. So, okay, so let's roll on down to the college NILs. So I just wanted to just bring this up. Angela Reese is making $1.3 million a year now on NIL because they won the championship. Whereas Caitlin Clark, she already is at $1 million a year NIL. So do I mean they making more than the WNBA? So would it be more feasible for them to even want to go to the WNBA or just ride it out on their salary that they're making? And then, like Tracy said, they can go overseas and get a part-time job to compensate the money that they're spending out of that $1 million.
It's interesting you brought that up because recently, I think they're twin sisters, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken, the Cavender sisters,
Yep.
and they are leaving NCAA basketball to, I guess, capitalize on their popularity and the earnings that they make through TikTok and other appearances, things of that nature. So that does bring up a really good point, I think, Cheryl, about how lucrative these opportunities have become for athletes. And when you're looking at, earning potential
Mm-hmm.
in the future versus what you can do right now,
Mm-hmm.
um, it is more appealing, I think, in some ways. It goes back to the love of the game, but you know, people have to live too. And so, if you have earning potential right there, you can capitalize on it. It does make sense to
Mm-hmm.
ride that wave instead of rushing into a sport where you may not be compensated nearly as handsomely.
Listen, NIL sounds, I guess, a lot more lucrative than 8 a.m. physics. So, I mean,
Well, well,
guess
we
you're
can
gonna get it while
also
the getting's good.
true, but you know what? Now you also jumping down in high school. When you look at Lil Bronny, making seven
Hmm.
point seven or 7.5 million already. Do he really need to go into the the NBA? And if he is, what is he trying to prove? Because he already got the money.
Did he
Is he
really need
going for the
to,
love of the game?
regardless? Yeah. I
More
mean,
money, more money, more money.
He can make another $1 billion.
You gotta be capping nobody's earnings.
well, he'll have his own money.
Yeah.
Maybe that's, the justification.
You remember what Bill Cosby said? Dr. Huxtable said, this is my house. This is my money. So, you know what? Go, Bronny. Go make your own.
Yeah.
Go, Bronny, go. Okay, so then let's just jump on over here to the NFL then.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's talk about. You know what, Kanisha? I'm a punt this ball to you. Jalen Hurts contract, and I know you fact check everything because I think them glasses you just put on and took back off. So I done wrote some things down, but I know you got just a little bit more. And then I'm gonna jump to Deshaun, and then Hatch. We're gonna let you talk about Lamar and Patrick Holmes.
Oh, okay. Put me on the spot. Thank you, Cheryl. Okay. Well,
Me,
let's
me
go
as well. Me as well.
then. So, as your intro led into, Jalen Hurts has had a record $255 million extension Eagles, and I guess the big numbers to know. The real amount is 224.8 million.
Mm.
But I'll take that.
Wait a
And
minute, you said 224. You said 224 and not 255.
it's 220. Well, okay, 224.8 million is the NFL salary cap in 2023. So that's
Okay.
up from $17 million from last year. And then he'll make 64 million through the 2024 season, according to NFL Network, and he gets a $23 million signing bonus. Does this money already sound a little bit different than what we heard over there at the WNBA? Yes, it does. Okay. So anyway, and he's getting paid that for a number that is 72.2. That's his completion percentage inside the pocket in 2022. So that was tops in the NFL ranking, 32nd in that category in 2021. He joins Joe Montana, Drew Brees, and Phil Simms as the only quarterbacks to complete at least 80% of their passes from the pocket in a Super Bowl. That's why he's getting the big dollars. 18. Y'all know what that number is? It's not his jersey number, but it's his total rushing touchdowns last season. It
Oh, 18
explains
to
the money.
18. Mm.
24.
Oh,
This man is 24 years old, making all of that money.
get the Brinks truck out.
Pretty cool. So this is, the contract is a history-breaking contract, and all I can say is, Lamar Jackson, please get an agent. Get yourself an agent, bro. Okay.
Well, I know you talked about
Any
Jalen Hurts.
questions?
No question, because I know you had a little crush on him. That's why I wanted you to, talk about him. But Deshaun Watson now. Yeah, he is. He is a little cutie pie. But Deshaun Watson, on the other hand, was leading the pack, and he started this mess. Now I had to go sit in
Heavy on the mess.
with this mess. I had to go sit in with the front office on this because we don't
This is important. Yes.
Yeah, we don't open up a can of worms in the front office in the Browns headquarters. So yeah, we gave him $230 million. I thought that was enough. I was his agent behind closed doors. But I had to act like, I was a part of the marketing team, the decision making process. So I was like, no, let's give this guy $230 million as his agent for 5 years. And then I said, you know what? Let's give him a sign-on bonus of $44 million. So now I'm working this thing as an agent, right? But I'm sitting at the table like, this ain't what I really do. I'm trying to act, I'm playing two hats and two sides to the middle. And then we made him the highest player in the NFL, or the quarterback in the NFL, to get paid that amount of money. So now,
then not now though.
Yesterday. So then, what the little lady name is, Miss Lynn, she got my playbook, and she went and said, huh?
I just said, oh.
Yeah, she got my playbook, and she went and talked to, Philly with that little team of about 8 to 10 people. And, they want to top us, they a little jealous of what we got going on in Cleveland right now, but that's okay. I'm okay with that, but it's all about
jealous as in Cleveland was in the Super Bowl.
No,
Listen, you just took like 2.5 minutes of our lives that we can't get back.
We cannot get it back.
Claiming you shouldn't even want to claim that deal that Cleveland made with Deshaun. But anyway, congratulations. Yeah, well, congratulations to Jalen Hurts and his agent.
But no, I mean, I'm gonna give them their props for sure. But I just want y'all to know that playbook came from me as Deshaun Watson's agent, and I gave her that information, and then she took it and went verbatim and got a couple extra money, a little bit more money than I did. So now I'm thinking like, I messed over Deshaun. So
Listen,
yeah, I'm a little bit upset with that, just a little bit right now.
you should distance yourself from that story just because it's Deshaun, okay?
Exactly. Exactly.
You asked
Yeah.
about Lamar. I'm
Yeah,
assuming you
go ahead
asked
on,
because of
Yeah. I
go
was
ahead.
like, what are you hopping to next?
Yeah, go ahead on to Lamar.
I didn't have anything on Patrick Mahomes, but
Okay,
as far as
I got
Lamar,
something on it.
okay, but as far as the Lamar Jackson, yes, he does have an offer on the table from the Ravens, and there's one amount that's guaranteed, but there's like a if then that actually would equate to him getting 200 million guaranteed. So will he, won't he, will take it. We still don't know yet, but I would say that, maybe the Hertz deal maybe sprinkled a little bit of influence on it, but, the Ravens aren't, they're not just running like, oh, forgive us. They're offering what they're saying that they're offering. So we'll see how that turns out. It seems like everybody in Baltimore wants Lamar Jackson Jr. to be their quarterback, and the Ravens just about seem to want that too. So hopefully that works out. So
Yeah,
that's what I
they
got.
need to make it happen. They need to make it happen.
Yep.
And but you know what? Once again, everybody want to piggyback off the Cleveland Browns. When
They
nobody was
don't. What were you going
thinking.
to say about Mahomes? They
No,
don't.
yeah, and I'm just saying they was not even thinking about that amount of money. But that's okay because they getting this out of my playbook. But now Patrick Mahomes won the Super Bowl. He had a deal on the table for $450 million, but that was for 10 years. So because of Jalen Hurts and the King, Deshaun Watson, now they're gonna go back and renegotiate Patrick Mahomes' contract. And now we done jumped on Lamar. Now who next? Who's next? The Pittsburgh Steelers or the Commanders? I don't know. Who's up next?
The Cowboys,
Their quarterback,
they need to figure out their
PPO.
they need to figure
Oh,
out
okay.
their
Okay.
next move, I guess.
Okay. So, ladies, what about Damar Hamlin? He's been cleared to come back to play football again. What do y'all think about that?
It's I don't want to say bittersweet. It's tough. You're obviously, I would say I was, thankful or grateful. Am I grateful? He's probably grateful to, have this clean bill of health, and then I want to say but, and then will we all be like watching and waiting, or cringing every time, he's on the field and like, oh, don't touch him, don't hit, like we'll just all go into mama mode when he's out there. I mean,
Hmm.
again, great to hear he's got the clean bill of health, but football being next, I don't know. Well, we shall see.
Hmm.
I mean,
Well,
I
maybe
think
if
if
we give him 100 million, he might go sit down.
maybe, I just think if nothing else, he was so inspirational for a number of different reasons. Just bringing attention to the sport, bringing attention to the importance and impact of first responders who essentially saved his life on the field. And then,
Yes.
as an advocate, he was just in DC the other day advocating for, life saving equipment, even down at the youth ball level and the impact there. The reality is it could happen to anyone. It's happened
Hmm.
before in hockey and in other sports. Um, it's just one of those odds. He beat the odds, and lightning rarely strikes twice. So hopefully he is completely healthy and will get the opportunity to continue to engage in the sport that he loves, but he has already demonstrated to be a person that people can get behind and support and be a great advocate and spokesperson. So even if the return is short lived, I think he's got a bright future doing a whole lot of other things to bring attention to safety in sports. So, I wish the best for him. I'll be worried, but
I'm,
hoping for the best.
yeah. My question would be, will he have to fight for his position, or if he comes back, will they give it back to him? And then if he goes back to play Cincinnati, is Cincinnati on their roster for next year? I know he plays on defense. Would they be, a little reluctant to hit him again and just let him, do what he want, or would they be like, okay, you came back, partner, you this is football?
I mean, I would guess that that's what he wants. He doesn't want to be treated, any different than any other player. And I'm sure plenty will be running through everyone's minds, not just the Cincinnati, but all the other 17, games that they'll have in the or 16 plus one games that they'll have in the regular season. So, just remains to be seen.
Yeah, because if he play Cleveland, baby, we playing ball. We just gonna play football. So football. What about them? The Washington Commanders hatch. Is they sold or what's going on in Washington?
I don't know. I'm so damn tired of talking about it. just be August already. So a deal has been presented to the National Football League and the other the parties that be to approve this deal. Now, in true Washington fashion, there's always something extra going on. A native of the area, Brian Davis, he was played basketball at Duke. Um, had a counter offer. He was offering 7 billion, but there was a lot of speculation. Oh, excuse me, cash, and there was a lot of talk about this offer and where is he getting that kind of cash. He's like, I can give you 1 billion on Sunday, and then like I give you 6 more billion in 2 weeks. you know
Mm,
so it,
mm,
because it's not, the deal isn't officially approved yet. He it would appear that again this other offer is out there, but there were some legal troubles that were pointed out. There were some other things that he said he took care of, and he said he was sorry. So as what we know, what offer that has been presented has been the offer with the Harris Group. So Kanisha, I'll pass it to you.
Oh, well, I think you already touched upon that. I was like, there was just something filed in DC Superior Court as late as March 27th for failure to repay some loans
mm,
that were far less than 7 billion. So
mm.
maybe they're just not
Well,
taking them seriously.
when he talked to the local news, he said he's taking care of his debts, and he said, "I'm sorry." So apparently that's a special form of payment, and I guess he still, expects his offer to be taken seriously. But yeah, again, we'll still see again in true nation's capital fashion what will be.
It'll be exciting.
Oh look!
Oh,
Oh, I see you raising your hand, Cheryl. Look at the time. No, go ahead.
So if he can't pay his Capital One credit card,
not
how is
capital.
he?
Cheryl said, "What's in
Prepaid.
your wallet?" Cheryl said, "What's in your wallet, Brian?" Because nobody believe you got that one bill. Okay, nobody believe it.
Okay, well, like I said, I'm still in the runnings now. I'm still in the runnings for that. But
Well,
ladies,
you
I got
would think that the way Brian Davis stepped up, no wonder you would think that you had a shot.
I pay
So
my credit cards. I pay my bills.
yeah, I know you do. I know you do.
Well,
And
good
I'm
for
gonna tell
you.
y'all, where he got that money at just in a couple minutes or so. But I want to tell everybody that I went to a women's national football game. It's called the Women's National Football Conference, and they have 16 teams across the U.S. Where it's they pay these women like $1,000 a season to play football, and they're suited up and pads. They look just like the males, and they play really good. Their coaches are volunteers, and they're in the fourth season right now. I got the opportunity to see the Los Angeles Legends versus the Oregon Ravens. It was a
Hmm.
pretty good game. If I didn't know no better, you would have thought they were just football players. And then that goes back again, Kanisha and Tracy, that financial disparity. They only get $1,000 a season, and them women, some of them got hurt out there, and some of them they were just playing. But it's just an issue across the board. So, but if you
I
haven't went to one, you need to go and see it for yourselves.
I thought you meant $1,000 per game, but you said $1,000 per season. You know
Season.
how many games do they play? Do you know?
It didn't.
I have to
It
look
didn't
that up.
say. Yeah, because it
Oh,
didn't really
okay.
say. hmm So, um, so Kanisha, you have. It's time for our stand up stitcho. Kanisha, you got to stand up.
I do have a stand up, and that is um, a, a new history making point. Texas Southern University's cheerleaders, an HBCU college, they became the first from a historically black college or university to win a national title last week at the National Cheerleaders Association College National Championship in Daytona Beach, Florida.
Oh,
So the team's head coach, Sean Como, said her team generally practices up to 1 year before a competition. They won the Spirit Rally title, and they just put it all out there, left it all out on the floor, all out on the tumbling mat, and came out on top. So cheers to the TSU Tigers.
Yeah,
Um,
that was cool. That was a big deal, and it was a great performance. It was
mhm.
tight. I told you when you shared it with us. I'm like, even the tiger mascot. He was like, look,
Yeah.
Tony who Frosted Flakes who he was out there. He was doing his part.
they crossed the
Um,
street.
they were really good. They were really good. Very deserving.
Well, Totos
TSU
need to go.
Tigers.
Totos need to get on out there with them, and you know, maybe do something for the Commanders. I don't know, but
They did the darn thing. That's their
they
cheerleading
did.
squad, 22 members, one of 14 teams to compete in the Cheer Spirit Rally Division One category. They got a 96.1 performance score, 96.1 raw score, 95.58 event score in the final round. They beat out Georgia Tech, BYU, Iowa State, um, all kinds of teams in front of 20,000 spectators. And, that was out of 430 college teams from across the country overall. And those 22 cheerleaders made an impact. Very awesome.
Nice.
Congratulations, TSU Cheer.
Yes, congrats,
Nice.
congrats. So our stitcho. Now y'all gonna have to determine whether this is a stand up or a stitcho.
Oh, Cheryl.
Hashtag no, y'all got to give me this one right here. Okay, so uh, and a strange wife of a Moroccan soccer player, Artaf Hakimi, reportedly learns his wife's assets are registered to his mother after asking for a divorce and asking for half of his earnings. So basically, what's going on is this guy's wife um, asked for a divorce, no kids, and she wanted half of his earnings. So he must have seen this coming because he's seen something in that year or something. So what he did, he went and put all his assets in his mama's name. So that leave him having $0. So unbeknownst to her, when it came out, she thought she was gonna get half of all that money. No, baby, he ain't got not a nickel because everything is in his mama's name. And I said that was brilliant. Who would have thought to do that?
Obviously, Ashraf Hakimi thought to do that because um, he did. It's really 80% of his earnings are kept in his mother's name, and 20% goes to him. So,
Mm.
um, and he makes how much? Uh, More than $215,000 weekly.
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 Oh.
Yes.
Yes. So that mama gets every. So he goes to his mama for ever. Yeah. What did it say? 215. His salary is more than 215 per week in her bank account. That goes to his mama's bank account.
And he's only
Mm-hmm.
24 years old. How are you getting divorced at 24?
Well, because some of them get married for the love of money. Some of them get married for the love of who their individual is. And what I was told, is that when they marry into the sport, they divorce right out of the sport. And
Mm.
then they get a nice little bank account. So he, on the other hand, did the right thing. That 250,000 per week was putting in his mama's bank account. So I guess he was asking his mama for money, and she would give him money to, pacify the wife or whatever. But big ups. I'm gonna have my son to do the same thing, even though he ain't got about 3 nickels to a dime on his own name. But you
What
know what?
in the world?
I'm gonna keep them 3 nickels and a
Wow.
dime.
Well, the husband and the wife can go be the sit your bleep down. So
That's
together,
called work it out.
yeah, they can be co-owners of that award for today. So
Okay, ladies. So that's our time. It's been great. It's always fun to see y'all and just talk with you all to see what's on the brains. But we ask that you all tune in next Wednesday at 8:30 for another episode of Another Sports View. Go Browns. Bam.
that's my
Women
fault.
love
Well,
sports too, and we love you too. Signing
And
off.
you and you and you.
yeah.
And
The
you.
Cavs.
Oh my
Go.
gosh.
Go. Go. Go.